señor Leon Waisbein.
Thank you. Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Aren't you tired? I knew you are not. After Michael, you can't be tired. Are you ready? Okay. I am. So I will just tell you about myself a couple of facts, not more. This is a very short version of my story. Of course, I have long version, but what? Translation? Is it working now? Is it working? Is it good? Are you good? Are you fine? Are you ready? Are you here? That's it. How many of you use translation? Can you raise your hands, please? Use translation. I see. Okay. So I will be very slow to allow proper translation. Otherwise, I speak very fast. No, I'm just kidding. I always slow, so it's fine. Those who speak Spanish, they're very fast. You know, Spanish is the fastest language in the world. People who speak several languages, they speak in other languages, they speak, slowly. And then when they switch into Spanish, you can't even, follow very fast. So I will be very slow. So listen, it's great to be here. Top leadership of Spanish-speaking U.S. businesses here, and this is great. And Maestro is here, #1 distributor is here, my favorite distributor is here, so we can start. This is not easy to do it after this kind of speech and Michael, and standing in front of the top leadership of the top growing market in the world, and especially in front of #1 distributor and Maestro. Listen, I don't hide it. Listen, I don't need to hide it. This is my most favorite distributor in this company. I can say it in front of, that's it. It's a fact. So, and just about myself a little bit. I started this business 20 years ago while being a poor immigrant from Russia to Israel. I was born in Russia, in Siberia, 43 years ago. Siberia is a big place. It's like United States and Canada together. This is something called Siberia. Big place. And people live there. You can't even imagine. Okay, so our parents, my parents, they moved to Siberia from Ukraine during Second World War. They just escaped, the war. So they came to Siberia, so I was born in Siberia. And 20 years ago, our family moved to Israel. And I found myself with no job, no language. You start from scratch. Mexican immigrants are coming to the U.S. You don't need to learn language, because everybody speaks Spanish around. It's Anglo-Americans need to learn Spanish. That's the deal. So when we moved to Israel, nobody spoke Russian except very few people, the old immigrants. So you had to learn language, otherwise you have no chance. And back in Russia, I was a medical student in the medical school. My dream was to become a doctor. I spent a couple of years in the army, in the Russian-Chinese border, 2 years, very nice, in the middle of nowhere, protecting Russia, protecting Soviet Union from China. Me. That's why war never, occurred during this time. So it was very nice. And then I studied first with first degree in medicine. So then we moved to Israel. Then my dream was to become a doctor, to have, to complete second degree and become a doctor. But it never happened because we tried to enter the university and it didn't work due to, language and the different type of exams and many different things. So neither myself nor my wife, so we couldn't get into the university. We've been both medical students. So, and then I found Herbalife. I was introduced by my friend who got incredible results with the product. So incredible that I couldn't, I was blown away. But result was so huge. I was in shock, and it was my friend. It was not someone else that you don't know whether it's true or not. I knew the guy from the very childhood, and so I was shocked. And he was also making money while I was an orange picker. I found a job to pick oranges. It was a very nice job. I was making $400 a month picking oranges. It was good, but it was definitely not enough to support the family and everything and all our spendings and everything in this new country. So I was sitting on trees and, jumping from tree to tree, to pick oranges. I was working as a monkey, more or less, Nice. How many of you anybody picked oranges? No oranges in wherever? In Texas? So I was picking oranges until orange season was over. Oranges didn't grow in Siberia, by the way. Siberia it's like Canada, okay? So they don't grow in Siberia. So and I never seen oranges, live oranges. It was closed communist country with no oranges. No oranges. So and there was no import-export of oranges, so that's why, I knew about oranges, but I never seen, maybe once, twice, in my life. And here I'm coming to Israel and oranges are everywhere, and I'm sent to the plantation to pick them up. I was so excited, you can't even imagine. Before I picked them, I started to eat them, of course, right? Just to avenge my my orange-less childhood. You understand? So, and I've been eating and eating and eating and eating one day, second day, third day, fourth day. So several days I've been just eating oranges. I was pretending like I was picking them up, but actually I was eating. I was sitting on the tree and actually, eating oranges. After a while, I got sick, and I spent several days at home at a certain place. I was really sick. Then the next 2 or 3 years, I couldn't, eat oranges. I couldn't drink orange juice, and I couldn't even, when I've seen, this orange color, it made me sick, orange color. So I couldn't go to the Netherlands. This is their national color in Holland, in Netherlands. But anyway, but then I started to pick them up, and everything was fine. And I've been making my $400, but it was definitely not enough, as I told you. Then I met Herbalife, became distributor. We started to use products, got incredible results. I was very tired and underweight and sick all the time. My immune system was not good, and I broke my nose when I was a child. It's not a joke. So I was boxing, and they broke my nose. And since then, I couldn't breathe through my nose, so I was sick all the time. And I was underweight and tired, and I was very sleepy. I was sleeping everywhere, all the time. I was just looking for a place to get, to rest. I was tired. So, and then I started to use products. I got so much energy immediately. I gained 10 kilos, which is, 20 pounds. approximately. I gained 20 pounds in 3-4 months. This is incredible to me. I'm healthy. So I still don't breathe through my nose, but I'm fine. I mean, I never tired, and I do great, and everything is wonderful. So my wife lost 10 kilos, which is 20 pounds. It's the same, so we just, neutralized. We got, and my parents got incredible results, and my entire family, they got just huge results. Results were great, and I started my business. I didn't know anybody. I didn't speak language, so I went to the street to look for customers, and I found several Russian-speaking immigrants like myself, and talked to them in a very strange way. And because I didn't know how to talk, I was presenting myself as working for the American company, and I can help you, to lose weight, and people didn't really, share my excitement. When you stop someone on the street and say, I can help you to lose weight, it's not easy conversation. But I didn't know what to do and how to talk. Finally I found some solutions, and I started found the way how to talk to people, and I got my 10 customers, and they introduced me to more people, so I got my 36 customers in my first months. I became supervisor, and some of my customers joined the company as distributors, and I got my first check. And we used to live together, my parents, my brother and his family, and myself and my family, and my grandmother. Everybody used to live together in one apartment because we couldn't afford different apartments. Immigrants. So, anybody was immigrant here? just kidding. Anybody knows immigrants? So, it's very interesting, to talk to somehow. You either talk to locals or you talk to locals. You never talk to immigrants, And here everybody is this way or another. Sooner or later, So you understand, right, what it means. When you come to the country, no, you don't understand, because you speak Spanish. And you come to the Spanish-speaking country. Let's face it, America is a Spanish-speaking country. It's their problem, to learn Spanish. It's not your problem anymore. It used to be maybe of your grandparents, 100 years ago. When you are coming to a country, actually they're born here, right? It was, New Mexico and, Texas. It was more or less this way or another speaking Spanish communities a lot, right? So it was never been an issue. But when you are coming and nobody speaks your language, that's a problem. This is a problem. So I started to work within Russian community, and then company opened up Russia, and I signed up my classmates. They became three of my classmates became presidency members later on, and some other people. So and then I learned to speak local, language called Hebrew, and then English, and then I started my international business, which took me to many countries. My organization today is in 35 countries, and doing good. Everything is wonderful. Everything is just wonderful. So this is a short version of my story. I could do it even shorter. Born in Siberia, standing up here right in front of you, 35 countries. That's it. Life is wonderful. So this last 20 years, it was great. This is the bottom line. It's just unbelievable. But the next 20 years is going to be even more unbelievable. And I'm really excited about what's going to happen. And what Michael, did now to show the vision and values and everything, and what kind of company we are, and what the future is waiting for us. It's just, listen, we're lucky. We're just lucky. We just need to appreciate it every day. We just need to thank God every single day. That's it. Nothing else. Sometimes we forget how lucky we are. And we start, complaining that this is wrong and this is wrong. And something is not working for us, so we start complaining. Do you complain sometimes? Or it's only Russians who complain? Never complain? That's it. Okay, so listen. Yesterday we had this presidency meeting and discussed a bit the new opportunities within our business plan, within our new business plan. We have new business plan. Business plan, I mean, it's a combination of different interesting elements within our business. Nutrition clubs changed the business. It helped us to keep customers around. You know, customer retention is #1 priority in any business. Any business. If you are able to keep your customers around, you are fine. Then you add new customers. This is incremental business. You can grow. If you are not able to keep customers around, you need to replace customers. This is very tough. That's it. So you restart your business all the time. This is very high leadership level training, so I can tell you several things, which normally I wouldn't do in front of distributors or supervisors. I can give you an example. I had several president's team members in my group who said, listen, we can't continue the way we work. It was 10, 15 years ago. They became president's team members. They said, listen, I can't continue to do what I do because we are losing customers and we are losing, as a result of it, we are losing distributors. We just bring all the time new people instead of those who will lose. I can't stand it anymore. So we need to find the way how we keep customers around. And once we have it, call us and we will be back to business. President's team members, you just need to understand how acute the situation was in the company. And these are straight great people, you know, who achieved president's team level by working hard and by building business on, you know, high ethics and everything. And now they're coming and saying, listen, we are missing the most important element, how we keep customers around. We just bring customers. We've been keeping 1 customer out of 10. Not good. Any company would search for a solution. And 10 years ago, you know, or 9 years ago, or whatever, 8 years ago, we started to hear about these nutrition clubs. Nutrition clubs. I don't know what nutrition clubs mean. We hear about different things. I've been searching, I've been looking for different solutions, not myself, but not just myself, but some other people. So, and you know, and now suddenly you hear something called nutrition clubs, and you don't know what nutrition clubs mean because we had our own clubs. Our own clubs, it meant to, you know, it was kind of, you know, some people worked in office, and, you know, we've been doing some weekly events for customers. Weekly gathering of all our customers, and we've been trying to influence them and tell them whatever. And it helped a little bit, you know. It improved situation. It was part of the operation to meet your customers on a weekly basis. But it wasn't the club with all the elements of the club. And then we discovered the club. We went to Mexico. Maestro helped us to learn and go all the way through and understand how things work and what the change is. And we've been, of course, blown away. I brought with me, not with me physically, 140 people from Russia, top leaders, president's team, millionaire team, and get team to Mexico to see it. So these guys did just unbelievable job. They accepted everybody like their own distributors. It's just amazing. This experience was just, it was like to be born again in Herbalife. This is it. They accepted us. They took us all the way through the country in all stations and everywhere. So I never experienced anything like that. So we came back, started to do this nutrition clubs the same way we've seen in Mexico. It didn't work. At all. We opened 200 clubs same way we've seen it in Mexico, and it didn't work. People just closed it down after a while. And it appeared to be that we need to adapt nutrition clubs. Okay, it doesn't work in Russian. Home clubs didn't work. Okay, then people started to do it in a different way. They opened a little, 20 square meters offices and started to do it in offices, and it did work. And now we started to grow and grow. Last year we accounted over 1,000 nutrition clubs in this market already. And this is a great start, 1,000 clubs. It took 4 years since then to get to first 1,000. But now we see, based on the daily registration of new clubs, we see that we are going to double this year. We are going to hit 2,000 clubs this year. And of course, it had a huge impact on business. And first, it had huge impact on customer retention. This is just amazing. Now we are keeping 8 out of 10 customers. Instead of 1 out of 10, we are keeping now 8 out of 10. That's it. You don't need anything else in your life. If you know how to keep customers around, that's it. You solve your major challenge in business. Okay? So all those guys I mentioned, those presidents team, they're back to business actively. They are on fire. Everybody is on fire. Okay? So this was one change. Of course, club is an operation. It's not just daily consumption, morning or whatever. It's more elements to it. It's also, we run weight loss challenges within Nutrition Club, and trainings, and a little presentations, and a little business things, and whatever. So this is fully functional, business operation based on the fact that you can easily have 30, 40 customers per one active supervisor in the club. 20 in the morning, 20 in the evening within weight loss challenge groups or whatever. So you can run your customer operation very effectively, and you almost don't lose customers, which is unbelievable. And it's very attractive, and it's within the community. I don't need to pitch you and teach you on clubs. I'm just telling you that our game changed, okay, recently. And recently means last, 5, 10 years. So another thing which was a major change was a change in marketing plan, which allowed small people to grow slowly. Beforehand, I'm talking about cumulative requalification and cumulative qualification to the supervisor position, right? So there are so many people who are interested to, if we are talking about old supervisors, who are interested to keep their 50% discount and supervisor position, so they are allowed to keep it even if they're just small consumers and they are not very active in business, which was another important element. And now company took it to the very distributor level and allowed distributors to go and accumulate slowly but surely, accumulate volume and become supervisors, not just those who want to move fast and do it now for 1,000 volume points, but also for the majority of people who are not ready due to this reason or another, not ready to do it fast. Okay? And this is, we're talking about 80% of people. 80%, the conversion distributor supervisor conversion rate is, let's say, around 20%, for example, right? It means that 2 out of 10 are ready to go now and ready to go fast, which is great. And there are, on top of it, there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever people who need more time. Some of them need to lose weight first. Some of them are just consumers at this particular moment. Some of them, their mind is not in the business. Some of them are not ready, and some of them don't have confidence or time or whatever. So it allows them to go slowly into the thing and into the whatever. I wouldn't call it a business even. It's just Herbalife. We have an opportunity to get them slowly into Herbalife. As consumers, as small distributors, as people who try, as people who get ready. And now, after months, 2, 3, 4, now they are ready, and now they can make major steps towards business. They can become supervisors. Some of them have already customer base, distributor base, so now we have them into the business. So these are major changes occurred during last several years. And this is definitely game-changing situation. Based on this game-changing situation, rules of how we can grow and how we can allow our leaders to grow and reach next levels are different, are new. We need to take it into account. If we don't take it into account, we stay in the past. We stay in the past. I want to share with you this concept. I will do it in two parts. One now and another one is after the break. And this is going to be the concept of how you can grow endlessly, okay, with no limits, forever and ever, with the high level of retention, of course, but retention is a technical term. I would say it's more than retention. It's high level of predictability of your future. Based on what we do today, we can predict, I would say easily, what is going to happen to a specific organization or region or city or country for the next years to come. We go and analyze certain figures and numbers and parameters of what we do. We've tried to do it yesterday on a very generic level. Tomorrow we are going to do it with certain examples of certain people. I will show you how it works. But today I want to give you an idea of how we grow to the next levels and how you help your people to grow to the next levels, because your next level is actually not your next level. It's a result of your people going to the next level. It means that how many of you want to go to the next level? It's a very obvious question, yeah? Very smart question. You know, you can predict the answer, right? Yeah, everybody. So if you want to grow to the next level, to get to the next level, you need to forget about it. Leave it alone, okay? You need to think about your people moving to the next level, not you. As a result of it, you will move to the next level. So it's always not about you. That's the bottom line. If you want to get to president's team, put it aside and help your people to get to the next levels. And you will achieve your president's team as a result of it. If your only objective to achieve president's team, this is not right. Because your organization, they will know it. That your only objective is to use them for your president's team or for your whatever team. So that's why it's not about you, it's about them. It's about you facilitate the great conditions for your people to grow. This is what all this is about. And this is what I'm going to tell you. So let me start with this presentation. Where's my... Exactly. Can I put it on the screen, this one? This one? No, not Elmo. I need the screen. Oh, that's exactly right. Michael, I just forgot it. You're right. It's right here. Thank you very much. That's exactly right. This is it. I don't know which one is it. That's exactly right. Yes, this is it. That's it. Thank you. That's the one, ladies and gentlemen. So how to get to president's team? Because we are in future president's team. If you ask me how to get to president's team, because if you know how to get to president's team, then you get to president's team, but then you just continue. You get to chairman's club, and then whatever team is, right? But here's the problem. I have no idea how to get to president's team. That's true. We have 160 president's team members here. This is what I was told yesterday. 160, can you imagine? It's a big amount of people. And they're right here in front of you. And this is very exciting. 160. When I joined the company, it was only 27 president's team members, 26. And nobody could even spell president's team. You can't say it. You can't mention the holy name, you know, of President's team. You could only whisper. No. We've been whispering millionaire team. We've been saying get team. It was net team back then. National expansion team. So we say, I want to be net team. And then some people said, we know the guy we've seen the guy. His name was Michael Cole. Who is a millionaire team. This was a big story. But President's team, nobody even mentioned. You can't say it, you know. You see? But now they're everywhere. It's just commodity. It just became commodity. Guys, you just can trade it, you know. You can buy and sell. It's just commodity. So if you follow the group, you know, you can find the pin. Sometimes pin is, you know, they lose pins, these guys, sometimes, you know. And you can find the pin. 160 people. It's just commodity. But still we have no idea how to become President's team member. And here's why. If you put these people on stage now, I wouldn't say it in front of supervisors, by the way. If I say in front of supervisors that we have no idea how to become President's team member, they would say, oh, are you crazy? So what do we do here if you don't know? But here we can do it. You know, everybody understands here, get team already, so now we can, you know, tell you the truth. We have no idea. Because if you put these 160 people on stage now, and you would ask them, how you guys became exactly President's team members, they would tell you 160 different stories. Right? Is it right? I mean, everything will be about Herbalife, but it will be different. If you say, okay, you're excited, you're emotional, you became President's team, you worked hard during the last, whatever, 5, 10, 20 years, but tell me how exactly you did it. Put emotions aside, because your emotion is not my emotion. But how you did it? Did, not been, not am, but do. What you did, what you've done. Tell me what you've done, what you exactly did. And it's going to be 160 different stories, trust me. I mean, they did more or less the same. But you will not be able out of it to say, okay, that's exactly the way to do it. Do you agree with that? People are different, emotions are different, stories are different, circumstances are different, so it's going to be similar but different. Is it so far? Do you agree with that? That's why we have no idea how to become President's team member. Next page. It was a good start, right? But here's what we do know, for sure, is how to become get team member. This is something we do know. Listen, President's team is a big project. If project is too big and you can hardly describe it, you need to take this and break down into pieces and take care of small pieces. So to take big task and make it small task and then to go on small task. Doable, understandable, achievable, describable. You can define it. This is what I mean. Okay, something which you can easily define. Get team is something we can easily define. So today we are going to discuss how to become get team. The rest is duplication. That's the point, ladies and gentlemen. If you know how to take supervisors and create get team members in a very measurable, achievable, trackable, standard way, you can go and grow endlessly. That's it. Nothing else. You don't need to think about President's team. You need to think about supervisors becoming get team members. This is more or less the idea of the next couple of hours, which I'm going to share with you, which is taking into account two major things. One is how we treat customers in this new Herbalife of the last several years. And second is what this new marketing plan opportunities we have and how we combine these two, and we create most incredible mix we ever seen, not just in this company, but in the industry at all. And also, I have great news for you. Okay, no news. Later. Okay. So here's the deal. We are going to discuss how we take any supervisor and make him or her get team. That's it. That's the whole point. Are you ready? Yes. Am I ready? Okay. I'm just reading here in English because the presentation is in Spanish, so I need to read it in English. Let me just put it here. Just a second. Okay. Are you ready? Are you tired? No! Now you are talking. Okay, I'll be standing here, if you don't mind. Do you? No! Thank you very much. You are very helpful. Listen, what we want to ensure is not just people are becoming Get team members, but we want this. If someone is calling me, I'm busy. So listen, what we want to ensure is not just supervisor is becoming Get team member, but supervisor is becoming Get team member in the way, and this is very important, that this new Get team member will take his or her supervisors to Get team again. That's the whole point. I know many Get team members who became Get team member, and this was his or her last achievement in Herbalife for years. And they stuck in Get team position. You don't know these people. It's just in Russia. This is Russian typical situation. Here everything is booming and growing and so on and so forth, and sometimes you don't pay attention to, situations when people are achieving and then they're stuck at certain level or somewhere, or certain territories or cities or whatever, just because the way they became Get team or became millionaire team, they don't exactly know how they became, and they can't repeat it with their people. Sometimes we achieve a certain level based on someone else's effort, not my effort. It was my sponsor who arranged everything. It was big movement, it was big momentum, was national momentum, regional, whatever momentum it was. It's nothing to do with me. It was great STS, it was great extravaganza, it was great plan, it was great nutrition clubs, everything was moving, and somehow I achieved my Get team position. Just brought people and everything was great, and now I find myself Get team. And if you ask me how I became Get team, I have no idea. It was not me. You understand what I'm saying? So this is not standard way to become Get team. This is just, I was a part of a huge vehicle, and in order for me to do it, I just need to put people into the same great whatever. But if I find myself in a different territory without this huge momentum, I need to think, what do I do myself? How I take my supervisor and repeat what happened to me. The question is, what happened to me? How I became Get team, besides big momentum, besides events, promotions, and everything else. What was the plan? That's the question. What is the plan? What is the plan so I will take my supervisors to the Get team position, so they will continue. They will have the plan. So that's the question. Sometimes we have bigger momentum. Sometimes in some countries we have no momentum at all. It happens. So the question is, what do we do out of no momentum, no this, no that, no. This is how we started in Russia several years ago. There was no momentum. We created this momentum based on certain elements put together, and it's spelled a plan. We've created a plan, and everybody's on fire now based on plan, and of course certain elements which I already mentioned. So that's the point. So some distributors get team members, and then they can stuck at this level for certain period of time, and they are not happy with their growth. Again, this presentation is not for any market. It's just general ideas, okay? Some people can say, listen, but everybody is happy here. There are never, you can meet here a get team member who is not happy with his or her, speed of growth. Is everybody happy with your speed, with your pace? How many of you want to move faster to the next one? You see, everybody wants to move faster. How many of you want to move slower? How many of you didn't raise your hands? It means everybody wants to move faster, right? So it's very important how these people become get team members. This is it. That's the whole point. So we analyzed many statements. I'm analyzing all the time. I'm sick with it, I must tell you. It's my hobby, but also, I don't know how to say it in English. When you are preoccupied with something too much, how do you call it? Obsession? Oh, exactly, obsession. So I have this obsession to analyze numbers. Very bad obsession. You don't need it. Michael just said it. Keep it simple. But sometimes I struggle with myself. I look at something and, it starts. I can't stop it. But you don't need it. I did it already, so I will just I will give you just conclusions. So we analyzed many organizations. Especially, it was interesting to look at people who don't move, who are not happy with their progress. It's not about you again, but it's interesting to know anyway.